Today, I'm announcing the United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in the Congress and, I believe, in the country. Americans have rallied to support their Ukrainian people and made it clear we will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war. Russia may continue to grind out its advance at a horrible price, but this much is already clear. Ukraine will never be a victory for Putin. Putin may be able to take a city, but he'll never be able to hold the country. And if we do not respond to Putin's assault on global peace and stability today, the cost of freedom and to the American people will be even greater tomorrow.
That's President Biden yesterday at the White House announcing the United States no longer will import Russian oil, the latest move to economically isolate Moscow in response to its invasion of Ukraine. Joining us now, Deputy National Security Advisor for International Economics, Dalip Singh. He also serves as Deputy Director of the National Economic Council. Mr. Singh, it's great to have you with us this morning. This, even a week ago, as we've been discussing this morning, was seen as an extreme step to completely cut off the flow of Russian oil to the United States. Last week, we heard Speaker Pelosi come out in support of the idea, then Majority Leader Schumer come out in support of the idea, and then yesterday the announcement from you all at the White House. Can you talk about how you came to this decision and why you believe it's significant?
Morning, Willie. Well, look, we're committed to making this brutal and needless war of aggression by Putin a strategic failure. We've already landed a debilitating hit on his economy. It's in free fall. His currency is worth much less than a penny. Stock market's been shut for 8 days. Country's been downgraded to junk. The private sector is leaving in a mass exodus. But there's no sector of Putin's economy that's safe. So we're hitting him where it hurts most. That's energy. That's where Putin's economy, that's the only place where it has relevance in the global economy. And now we're taking aim at that as well.
Russian oil obviously makes up a relatively small percentage of what we do import and use here in the United States. There have been some concerns, even among Republicans who have backed this idea and support what you all are doing on Russian oil, who worry about spiking gas prices. What can you say to people watching today already paying an average of $4.17 a gallon about what may be coming at the pump?
First of all, I'm glad to live in a country where 70% of the people out there believe in holding Putin to account, even if it means higher gas prices. That was heartening to see that poll earlier this week. But the president has said, we're going to tell the truth. This war by Putin is not going to be costless. It's not going to be painless. Gas prices at the pump have been up 75 cents since he started to amass troops on Ukraine's border in early November. That's hitting families and businesses across the country, especially lower-income households that pay a higher share of their income in energy. But look, there are things that we can do. We need to boost supply all over the world, starting at home. The private sector has the leases, it has the permits, it has the price signal. It should pump more. And we should find a way very quickly to speed our transition towards cleaner, more sustainable sources of energy. But there are also producers abroad, Willie, producers with spare capacity all over the world. It's time for them to use that spare capacity. And for those countries that have strategic petroleum reserves, and there are 1.5 billion of those across the world, this is the time to also release those reserves and deal with this acute supply shortage in energy markets.
Mr. Singh, how does the president's order affect pre-existing orders of oil and gas from Russia or pre-existing multinational contracts, which are very convoluted? How does it affect those two items?
Yeah, hi, Mike. No new contracts of Russian oil, Russian coal, Russian natural gas. But we are going to honor existing contracts for a period of time, and that's only meant to have an orderly wind down of cargoes on the water.
Does this situation in Russia and the need for more domestic production give you any pause and cause you to reevaluate the president's decision to cancel the permit on Keystone at all over environmental concerns?
No, that's a distraction, Willie. Keystone it's a pipeline. It's not an oil field. It doesn't produce any additional oil. Even if Keystone XL had been permitted last year, it would have been years away from completion. It wouldn't have helped in today's circumstance. And there is a portion of Keystone which is operational today, and it's not filled to capacity. So Keystone has absolutely nothing to do with the current supply-demand imbalance in energy markets. What I can tell you, though, Willie, is Even if we drilled as much as we could, the price of oil is still set globally by demand and supply conditions. And much of that supply is controlled by tyrants like Putin. And again, that's why we have resolved to speed our transition towards cleaner, more sustainable, and renewable sources of energy.
Separate topic before I let you go. Digital assets executive order on cryptocurrencies announced by the president. What are we talking about here, and what does it do?
So cryptocurrencies, Willie, you've heard, everybody knows, they're undergoing explosive growth. I think over $3 trillion in market cap. The implications for the United States are profound. To the ability of people to engage in the financial sector, to their protection from the volatility of these cryptocurrency assets, to the efficacy of our sanctions. Some countries tried to work around them using crypto, and to the primacy of our financial system in the global economy. The president issued this EO to articulate our national interest and set a course so we have a leadership seat at the table.
Addressing some of the risks and the potential benefits of this digital cryptocurrency. Daleep Singh from the White House this morning, Deputy National Security Advisor and Deputy Director of the National Economic Council. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.